Hi neighbors, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel, Pretty Hippie Me. And yeah, we're getting back into makeup videos. I'm really excited about it. I took a break for a while, partly because I was really busy, but also partly because they didn't get as many views as my fashion videos. And so I thought that people just didn't want to watch them, but I have a hunch that's not true. So if you like this video, I hope that you like and subscribe. It'll show me if you want more of this content. And let's get into it. During the past few months, while I haven't really done like normal makeup videos, that doesn't mean that I have stopped playing with makeup and learning about it. If you're new to my channel and you're new to my makeup content, at least, I'm not perfect. I'm not a professional. I'm a makeup enthusiast. I learn what I know from YouTube and also from my own experimenting. So I'm just gonna kind of show you some stuff that I have recently discovered that I'm excited about. If your skin is like mine, I am like combination, and I don't know what, I don't know what color I am. I'm like warm, but some people call me neutral because I have red undertones, but I don't know if that's red undertones or if that is like redness. Like I feel like the areas where I'm red are because that's where my mask like sits against my face all day, and once mask time ends and this skin is not eternally irritated, then I'm not gonna look so red and I'm not gonna have such red undertones, so I don't think that I'm really neutral. I'm not cool toned. I think I'm a little bit olive leaning. I'm like warm olive leaning, or olive who is warm leaning, or something like that, but of course I'm fair. So anyway, we're not even gonna talk about that right now, but if you are in those categories, enjoy. So I've done my skincare for the day. I'm not really going to talk about it in this video. I will start my makeup routine the way that I usually do, which is my brows. That is the focus of this video, now that we're like 2 whole minutes in. So I have thick brow hairs that are darker than the rest of my hair. I don't know how well it shows on camera, but to me here in person, my brow hairs are black, or are like the darkest brown that you can get without actually being black. Whereas the rest of my hair is, a little lighter brown. I have natural blonde highlights, especially coming out of the summer. So I embrace the fact that my brow hairs are dark, because if I don't, then any other color that I put in there to fill them in looks ridiculous. It's awful. So I have this BH brow brush, number 12, and I want to show you a new brow product I've been using. This is basically a like how I do my brows video, which recently I've been getting a lot of compliments on my brows at work, so it seems like maybe that is something people might like to see from me. So basically it's just this. I brush my brows up. You'll see that the natural shape of my brows, I've been trying to grow them in over the past, few months. But right now they have a natural arch, kind of like if I look straight at the camera, the arch is like right above my pupil. And usually you want the arch to be diagonally like over there. This one is looking okay right now. But like this one is a better example of where the arch is for some reason over my pupil instead of over here. So a lot of the reason that I use a tool instead of just kind of following the natural brow shape that I have is because I need to correct the brow shape that I have. So I have the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in the color Espresso. This tool is a recommendation from Alexandra Nelle. Great recommendation, love her. This does quite a variety of like really thin, fine, or of course you can get thicker lines as well. So I really try to draw like hair-like lines in my brows. It really usually does not go that way. It does not go that perfectly most of the time. You can see I really need filling in here toward the ends. Like I'm pretty thick through the middle, not gonna lie. But so this is what I do, and also honestly sometimes it becomes a little bit of a struggle for me. So here I'm filling in. These are not beautiful, precise strokes. And that might just be like the oiliness of my skin not really allowing it to like set perfectly. I do that little bit of filling in and you can see the line is not perfect. So I grab a clean I have this pack of triangle sponges. I, clean up the line. This is where my brow can go in 1,000 different directions. Often when I'm going to work, I get a little hyper-focused and I get a little hung up on, like, I want to make sure that I don't constantly look like my brow shape is me going, like, I don't want to always look like my eyebrows are lifted, because I don't want to look like I'm like suspicious of everyone. So right now I feel like because this brow shape is very upward, I'm gonna just fill in definitely a little bit here in the front because there's some patchiness. I have some gaps especially. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more under. One, to define the line and the shape, but also two, to like reduce that like suspicious brow look. And now this is where I run into trouble sometimes, because as I add color, then the parts of my brows where I did not add color begin to look patchy and empty to me. So I start to want to fill in more. That's what I've been working on, how to get the shape and the look that I like without feeling like I have to fully opaque out my brow, and I can still leave like hair structures in there that look more natural. I feel like this is a little better. This brow already had the arch that I like. For the moment at least, I'm gonna leave it alone. I might come back to it. Another thing that I've been working on too is making sure that my brows are even in the center. I think so far so good. Okay, now number 2. This one is a little bit more annoying because I've been trying to grow it in up here above where my brow currently is, and it just will not. I think I need a gel for these hairs, honestly. So this is the one that's really like, it really arches like right in the center above the pupil, and I want to move that arch over. Also, this is when my dominant hand, my right hand, moves over to the opposite side, and that presents a little bit of a agility problem. So I'm trying to work on my ambidextrousness. It's not even ambidextrousness. You know, it's a different position for your hand. It's different muscles that you're using in a different way. So I start by filling in the front to just, like I said, like just make sure that the line, like that both of the brows are in the same place compared to my nose. So now, immediately what I always notice with this brow, so these brows on this side naturally sit a little lower, whereas on this side, they naturally come up a little higher. To make them even, because I can't take away over here, I feel like I have to add over here. So on this side, where these hairs are naturally growing anyways, fill in a little line to add in a little fullness up higher to mirror a little more the shape going on over here. And then filling out the tail over here, I like to start on the end with this brow. I'm going to try to do it in a way that you can see what I'm doing one of these days. You can see the little baby hairs I'm trying to grow in so that someday it'll naturally take the shape that I want them to. My brows are very temperamental as well, by the way. Like, there are days that I can get them done first try, 5 minutes, real quick. And then there are days like this. I'm not even going that slow because I'm talking about it. This is just how slow I do my brows. Like, my brows are the longest step every morning these days. When I make the top side of the brow mirror the shape that's over here, which I pretty much done, then it becomes clear that I need to even it out underneath. But so now I am gonna fill in underneath to reduce that like lifted eyebrow suspicious look, but also to define the shape, the natural shape of it. Make it all make sense. Cohesion is the goal. Now comes the perfectionism part. Okay, so what I'm checking for right now is the shape, one, the shapes of the brows. Are they both arching over to the side instead of above my pupil? I think that we've achieved that on both brows. Next, I'm looking for the height. Are they arching at the same height? And I feel like this one is a little higher. And that's kind of normal for me because I'm really drawing in this shape where it does not exist. I often kind of overshoot. So again, I'm taking my sponge and just right along the upper edge, soaking up a little bit of that product and trying to bring it down in line with its brother over here. I think we're a little bit better. Third thing I look for is the line underneath. Are they basically equivalent? Do I have the same amount of space and the same thickness of the brow? I feel like this brow is a tad thicker right now than this one is, and that the line under here is smoother and it starts a little, it comes a little lower than this one does over here. Because I would like some lid space so I can do eye makeup rather than filling in this one, because I like this shape over here. I'm gonna try to remove a little bit of this. Yeah, I think that's a little better. I'm gonna fill in just a little bit on the outer half of this side. You know, trying to maintain the hair stroke feel, but as you can tell, once I get in there and start filling, you can't always see it anyway. The last thing that I look for is patchy areas. I don't necessarily need the most opaque brows in the world. I don't love that look, to be honest, but right now while I'm using this tool that is quite dark, when I have patchiness, it looks more weird. Like I have a bald spot here. I do have two different shapes, don't I? Goodness. All right, hold on. Yeah, this one arches up higher than this one. And I like the look of this one, so I'm gonna bring this down lower. I'm gonna really get in there more than I did last time. Just bring the angle down a little bit. I don't think that did enough. Although, honestly, I like the shape of this one better. So, I think I'd this is dangerous. I think I'd rather add a little height over here. Yeah, that's more even. This is super detail oriented, the way that I'm doing this. This is not necessarily a quick and easy morning routine before work kind of thing. Because when you're drawing your brows on, you're creating shapes that don't exist. So you want it to be pretty good looking, you know? Okay, so now I have, I'm reaching a barrier of the natural shape of this brow can't go any thinner over here on the tail. So that means that this brow, the unnatural shape, I need to thicken up the tail a little bit. That's what I'm just trying to do with this whole thing, is balance out these two differently shaped brows. So I'm doing hair-like strokes in the tail. I'm adding a little more thickness underneath to try to even out the amount of space. Ooh, okay. That's looking better. I'm gonna bring this in a little farther even. It's a constant game of, okay, now this brow is doing that, and now this brow is doing that, and now this brow is doing that. And so I know people say sisters, not twins, but since I'm literally reshaping my brows with this pen, I want to go as twin-like as possible. I'll also add that because of my lighting setup, I didn't notice that my left eyebrow, which is the right one on screen right now, I was just giving it so much more product than the other eyebrow and making it so thick and dark in comparison. Okay, I'm calling it now. This is the finished brow shape for today. I'm gonna put down the brow product and I'm gonna finish them off with a little outline. I have this KVD All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer. I tried using this on my under eye area. I don't like it because of how matte it is. It like just looks kind of dry and flaky and gross. But I think it's a helpful tool to use for lining out my brows. I used to have a definer. I used to use this. I ran out of this. I do really like this, not gonna lie. The Benefit Brow Contour Pro. This cute little pen. It's like a little school pen with all the different inks. And it has 2 brow shades, a highlighter, which I haven't even used really, but it also has a definer, which is basically the color of my skin, but this is empty. So I just have been using the KVD All Nighter, and because it's, you know, waterproof, full coverage, drying, and my skin is combo oily, I feel like that helps it kind of stick around. So I take that and I take a concealer brush. I try to use this rounded one when I can so that I can keep the lines soft. I'm not big into like very harsh, like cutting out the brow in like a harsh way, because everything else on the face is so blended and soft. I don't want the brow to be different than that. It's also a good moment to cover up a couple of imperfections. If it's a really messy corner over here, then sometimes I'll bring that inward. And today, because I forgot to put on my eye primer, I can kind of pull out that point a little bit. And because I have a lot of redness on my forehead, I don't mind if I use a little bit too much. Because again, like I said, it's like a pretty drying kind of matte full coverage. Under my eyes, that looks bad. Just like does not look good. But for my oily areas where I have some redness, I don't mind if there's something a little more matte that's going to absorb that oil, or at least put up with that oil and stick around. Okay. So these are the finished brows. Took a while. But like I said, people have been complimenting how I've been doing it. I promise when I have the rest of my face on, this doesn't look so wild. And if I was gonna go really barefaced like this, I wouldn't do it like this. But because I'm doing like a full face of makeup because I'm gonna film, this is an appropriate brow for moi. I'm gonna do the rest of the face, but because of how long the brow took, I'm definitely gonna put that in a different video. Let me know how you do your brows below. Do you also have brow hairs that are way darker than the rest of your normal hair? And if so, do you embrace the darkness, or do you have some tips to kind of make them not look so dark? Other than bleaching them, I don't want to put bleach near my eyes. That's just like a personal thing. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you and your time and the fact that you're spending your time here with me. Please let me know all your thoughts and comments below. I hope that you like and subscribe and join the neighborhood and turn on notifications so you can be notified about my next post. All of that good stuff. Thank you so much. So much love. Bye.